Master Scout Gandhi lifted a hand to halt his followers. "Rein in there, boys. Seems we've got company." He turned slowly and raised his gaze to the woman standing above him like an avenging angel. She was dressed in dull gray. Her Austrian-draped tie-back skirt was cinched tightly, front to back. Her bustle jutted high like the spine of a spitting cat. Her hair was drawn back into so severe a knot it looked as if it gave her a perennial headache. The only spots of color she possessed were the twin blotches of pink on her stiff white cheeks. Letting a grin lift one corner of his lips, Gandhi lazily doffed his low-crowned black Stetson. "Mornin', Miss Downing," he drawled in an accent fairly oozing dogwood and magnolia blossoms. Her fists clenched at her hips. "This is an outrage, Mr. Gandhi." He continued holding the hat aloft, grinning lopsidedly. "I said, mornin', Miss Downing." A fly buzzed past her nose, but she didn't bat an eye. "It is not a good morning, sir, and I won't pretend it is." He settled the flat-crowned Stetson on his coal-black hair, pulled one boot out of the mud, gave it a shake, and settled it on the lowest step. "Well, now," he drawled, reaching into his waistcoat pocket and extracting a cheroot. He squinted at the blue Kansas sky. He squinted at her. "Sun's out, rain's stopped, cattle are bound to be coming through soon." He bit the end off the cheroot and spit it into the mud. "I'd call that a middling good day, ma'am. How about you?" "You can't mean to place that—" She pointed indignantly at the picture. "That sister of Sodom on the walls of your establishment for any and all to see." He laughed, the sun glinting off his straight white teeth. "Sister of Sodom." He reached inside his close-fitting black sack coat, patted his vest pockets, and came up with a wooden match. "If y'all find it offensive, no need to worry. Once I get it inside, you won't have to see it again." "Those innocent children have already seen it. Their poor mothers will be horrified. And what's more, anyone, young or old, can peek beneath those ridiculous swinging doors any time." She shook a finger at his nose. "And you know perfectly well the children will." "Shall I post a guard, Miss Downing?" His drawl was so pronounced, guard sounded like God. "Would that satisfy y'all?" He struck the match on the hitching post, lit the cheroot, tossed the match over her shoulder, and grinned up at her through the smoke. The slow, nonchalant drawl aggravated her as badly as his cavalier attitude and the stench of his cigar. "What would satisfy me is to see you send that sinful painting back where it came from, or better yet, use it for firewood." He glanced over his shoulder and appreciatively scanned the naked image from head to foot. "She is here," he turned back to Agatha, "and she stays." "But you simply can't hang such a picture." "Oh, but I can," he replied coolly, "and I will." "I cannot allow it." He smiled rakishly, took a deep drag of the cheroot, and said invitingly, "Then stop me." With the cigar, he gestured over his shoulder. "Come on, boys. Let's take the little lady inside." A roar rose behind him, and his henchmen lunged forward. Gandhi took one step up only to find that Miss Downing had taken one step down. His knee came against her stiff gray skirt, sending her bustle higher up in back. His grin remained fixed, but he raised one eyebrow. "If y'all will excuse us, Miss Downing." "I'll do nothing of the sort." It took great fortitude for Agatha to hold her ground with his knee-high boot touching her skirt, but she stared him down. "If the respectable businessmen of this town are too timid to speak up against these dens of vice and corruption you and your ilk have brought upon us, the women are not." Gandhi pressed both palms to his knee and leaned forward till his hat brim nearly touched her nose. He spoke quietly, the drawl more pronounced, but with an unmistakable note of menace. "I wouldn't like to manhandle a woman in front of the town."